Attention, humans! You are hereby ordered to watch Graphic Man 4-color fossils. The only good human is a dead human. We must invade the Forbidden Zone.
And no truer words were ever spoken. We hope you're having a great Wednesday. We're having a little bit of fun, as you can see. And we welcome all of our fans in the chat. I grabbed this one off the head before it disappeared. Trusty did this one so early that I was afraid it wouldn't still be there when we went live. So he already guessed at what part of the opening theme was going to be. So let's see who else is here. We've got, of course, Metarog. Oh, that's good showing up, Metarog. And Dr. Silver Age. I don't know what he's doing in the wings. Stage fright and all that. Here's Maranya. Good evening to all the friends of the old fossils. Here's Fireball. And Lead Paints arrived. Excellent, excellent. Well, we appreciate everybody that can show up or watch us on replay. Yeah, it just came natural. And I really lucked out on Metarog's picture. Boy, I found the perfect angle. I lucked out when Roger went and visited Bub because Roger was turning his head all over the place looking around, and I got all these angles I could choose. So
yeah, I noticed where that was from. Yeah. Good job. Yeah.
And we had our official welcome by Meyer Greenblatt too. It's got a lot of great toys to show us. We've got a lot of books, so I will get things rolling with, of all things, has nothing to do with Planet of the Apes. It's a 1980 Big Little Book, Daffy Duck. I've never seen one in the wild. So, of course, I just had to have it.
Very cool.
And I did a little preview of this on Gratu's show a few days ago. Here's an Unknown World.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. He's such a goodness.
He's going to get cut down as soon as he walks in. And how about some adventure? Here's number 278, Kurt Swan artwork.
Very nice.
These are all these fictitious people like Mercury, Peter Pan, and Superboy. What a trio. You never thought you'd see those three together. But
no.
That's Sandy Duncan. All right, here's adventure number 290.
Oh, Legion crossover, nice.
And I've just been in adventure mood, so here is 287. He's getting a bowling trophy.
Of course he would.
And how about some Teen Titans?
That's great.
Yeah.
Nick Cardy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't write it down. It sounds like a good guess. Yeah.
I think that's Cardi, yeah.
A little action. Who can beat Superman?
More Superman.
Yeah, these days, who can beat? Why his son would lecture him. That's who could beat him. All right. I'm very eclectic. So Pink Panther number 5.
Cool.
Showing off his artistic skills.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good profile. And more eclectic goodness. Here's Tales to Astonish.
Fabulous.
And there's, of course, Rick Jones has to give the spoiler alert there. And we will end on some GI combat. That pesky go-go check thing at the top.
Beauty.
Cool.
Another GI combat. This time, this plane's taking on the tank
Wow.
with wounded soldiers on the side.
Look at that angle. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't got this one in the bag yet. I just got it. It's very rough. But this lady has just given birth during combat. And, of course, you know, GI is going to be very conflicted on who he helps here. And that was my first round. So we return to our stellar cast. And do I have any volunteers?
I can go.
All right, Steve.
All right. Hope everyone's doing well. Got a couple of things in the mail. The new Bronze Gazette came in the mail. Great Mark Wheatley cover on this. And he's going to be at Free Comic Day at my comic store. Doing his thing. So obviously I'm going to have him do a little signature on this for me if he can. Hope he has prints of this to be sold. I'd love to have one of that. And along with the Bronze Gazette, the new Shadow Circle prozine came out. These are highly recommended. Like I've said before, if you're into pulps or these characters, these are just really well written and very well illustrated. Good stuff on those books if you're into that kind of stuff. Went to a show Sunday. It took me longer to get there than I actually spent there because I found a book I've been looking for a long time, and that kind of ended the budget for that day. That book, let me show that first. It's Flash 151. Very nice copy that I found. Yeah, I've been looking for this book for a while. It's either really high grade, very expensive, or it's beat up, and kind of nice mid-grade book that I could afford. So this was that was the deal breaker for the day. But before that, I had picked up Showcase 61, which I've never owned this book, and I'm very happy to finally have this. I've read the reprint, I'm sure, somewhere along the line, but never had this Showcase 61 with the Spectre. Challengers of the Unknown, number 58.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's one of the better covers. Yeah, it's such a great cover. It reminds me of a Doom Patrol cover more than a Challengers cover.
Yep.
Yeah. And speaking of Doom Patrol, I also picked up Doom Patrol 110. Very nice copy of this. Very happy to have that.
Beauty.
And Doom Patrol 113, which is such a cool villain, I think. Who dares challenge the Arsenal. Got a machine gun arm and a sword arm, which is pretty cool. And the last book I picked up, the last book of the haul is, I've never owned this for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I've never had this particular issue. I must have missed it during this is Adventure 459. Must have missed it during my comic buying days or surpassed it for something else, you know. Had my reading box that I have. Just I pull a stack of books out, put them in a short box to read, and Supervillain Team Up number 2 happens to be in there. I'm not eating much, but I love Southern.
We know who did that cover.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Eric.
We won't mention the name.
House of Mystery 143. Kind of a lower grade copy, but it's still readable and fun. So read that this morning along with this House of Mystery with the Plastic Man Dice for Hero 160 with King Candy. You gotta like that guy with his licorice lasso. Read a little Beowulf this morning.
Oh yeah.
It was good. You know, these short run DC books are really great.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't have two in my series, but here's three.
I think Frank Chiaramonte did those covers.
Number 5. Oh yeah, 5.
What else was Frank Giamonto known for? If I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, you're pronouncing it right. No,
He was an anchor. I know that too.
And the last book of this
okay.
run.
I love those covers. I just don't know the artist.
Number 4, number 6.
Yeah, I've never seen that particular issue.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I read these this morning. They're worth having, and they're like, unfortunately, you know, you find these then like the $1, $2 bins, unfortunately. But unfortunately for us, that's a good thing. But it just shows you that, you know, no one really cares for them, and it's really good stuff. So
Agreed.
that's all I got for this round, guys. Thank you.
Good stuff.
All right.
What are you doing?
And we bringing in Captain Strangelife's. Good to see you.
Hey, Cap.
How's everybody doing? All right, guys.
Metarog, are you ready? And
Yes, sir.
Paulo can send something over while you're doing that.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay.
Right. So I just finished up this run from the 1960s Mighty Crusaders.
Yay! Congrats.
These, it's like you were saying, it's like they're not expensive, but try to find these suckers.
Yes.
I mean, nobody has them, right?
Right.
Paul Reinman art in here is, you know, so, but still better than most of the modern stuff we see now.
Oh yeah.
Only a 7-issue run, by the way, in the 50s version. I think the 70s went 13. But I like it because they kind of like the Avengers dynamic. They took, you know, the old MLJ characters, except for the Jaguar. I mean, but you had the Fly and Shield, Black Hood, and all those guys, and put them together as a team. And fortunately, it didn't last very long. But this is a Steel Sterling solo issue, even though it says Mighty Crusaders. It's really not.
I often wonder if they'd have come up with a better name than Crusaders, would that have picked up more traction? It's not a bad name, but you know, it's not the Avengers.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of a companion. Yeah. It doesn't like roll off the tongue like the Avengers. Yeah. Kind of a companion book, but sort of the solo feature was the Mighty Comics. This was actually continued from the Fly. There's a storm in my area, so the internet may come and go. So that was during the Shield. This one is the Shield and the Web. Here's another Shield, Hangman, and down there you got a little 3-panel preview of what the Hangman adventure is about.
Cool.
Here's another Shield and Hangman issue. Just cool stories, nothing serious, nothing overly serious, nothing overly to write home about, but good stuff. Here's Black Hood and the Web.
Nice.
And then I'll finish off with my Midnight Tales run, Steve. Here's number 4.
Right. Yeah,
I love this blurb here. It says, "Oh, you misunderstood me. I didn't say this was the L train." And of course, you see he's got little horns, like
yeah,
you know that guy.
I gotcha. Yeah, little Wayne Howard, man.
Yep. These Midnight Tales covers are all pretty whimsical. Like here, he's gonna perform a sawing a woman in half, and he's like, "Oh, I've performed this many times. Maybe this time I'll get it right." You know, that kind
Hello,
of thing.
Shannon. How are you doing?
Hey, Shannon, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Shannon.
I just, I probably like Steve. I'm a big Wayne Howard fan on these covers.
Oh, yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
detailed. I mean, just dynamic.
One of my favorite covers right there. I like that one a lot.
Wow, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, look at this one with the gin up there. Just
Great.
You know, I mean, you're really missing out if you're just a Marvel or DC fan if you're not collecting this kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot of great
beautiful.
stuff there with Charlton.
Beautiful stuff. It really is. Here's a little marionette action going on there.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
And look at the colors on this one, guys. I mean, it's just every color into the rainbow. You have the tentacled beauty queen here. Just over the top, goofy stuff, and you know, stuff we love. You know, the judge is Miss Fortline. Yeah, can't make this stuff up. And you know, you guys who live in the Northeast, here's a option if your furnace is not working well. Just have a dragon.
That is a great cover.
Wayne Howard, Micah, can't beat him.
Yeah, Bill Wayne.
Yeah. And last couple here. A little Abe Lincoln coming back from the past there. And a little Monster of Frankenstein homage there.
Cool.
And I'll finish off with this big guy taking up the elevator.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
All right, that's it for this round.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
All right, Paulo sent something over. He says they're all Portuguese covers.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to start with one of the Western series that was drawn by Spanish artist Palacios. The thing about Palacios, he was a very good illustrator, but he was a terrible storyteller, and he would mess up the transitions from page to page. And he'd completely break down all the excitement. But the Portuguese publisher liked him, so we got, besides Manos Kelly, we also got the series, the legendary Alexis McCoy. This lasted through 4 albums. This is the first. I don't really get why the logo's so big, but well, this is the second. Oil painting.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
And here's the third. Just cramming more characters in there.
Oof.
And here's the fourth. Actually, I like this one better. This one came out okay. The covers to the McCoys are actually better than the covers to Manos Kelly. I have a few Manos Kelly books, but I haven't seen McCoy in quite a while. I can't even remember. This thing didn't show up at the. It wasn't redistributed to the supermarket where I used to read the European comics and then leave them there. So, Mundo de Aventuras, our famous weekly magazine, with comics from all over the world. And this one, Warlord being the main feature, also featuring a few newspaper strips. Warlord had a few stories published here. Although the covers were usually made in-house. A Western without a main character. This is the entire story is produced in Portugal by Augusto Rigo. I've already talked to the daughter of the original publisher, see if we can find the original art and put all of his work back into print, because this has been out of print for decades, and it's a real shame. He was a very good illustrator.
Oh.
Sitting Bull by Belgian artist Herman. The thing is, of course, the kind of ruins the effect, because Herman is a very good artist, and they fumbled the cover here with the in-house production. Also, notice that they cut an album into pieces so it could be serialized in a weekly magazine. So we only have about 10 pages here instead of a full album, which is 44. Here's another one. This cover came out okay. So it's the Torgal, another European comic with art by Rosinski, and Trigo is trying to do a Rosinski style, and came out very well on this cover. The Torgal has actually been kept in print, so we even now you can buy an almost full collection of the entire series, over 30 albums, and there are still new ones coming in. Although the original creators have retired, the writers over 80, the artist is getting there. They're not doing it anymore. 391, an actual Spider-Man story. This appears to be it's most likely a newspaper strip, because they were the Marvel stories that they had more access to. They did publish some Deathlock and Kazar, but for Spider-Man, they would have to go for the newspaper strip. No singing, Eric. 96, Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon was the regular. Was a regular on this magazine, of course, with all the newspaper strips. But they took advantage of the movie. Let's slap a poster type cover in here, and this came out very well. Now moving on to a Spanish series, Torpedo 1936. This was the first time that these were published in album format. They were all a bunch of short stories, and they would appear in some magazines occasionally. But this time they got them all together. So the albums have about 3 or 4 stories per issue.
It looks really good.
I know that Catalan Communications did these in the 1980s in the US, but the better reprints are the IDW trade paperbacks collections, art fully restored, and new translations by Jimmy Palmiotti.
Oh,
so yeah. And as you can notice, even though these comics are made in Spain, Alex Toth was supposed to be the artist, but then writer Sanchez Abuli got fed up with him because it was a real pain working with him, and Jordi Bernet started the regular artist.
yeah, I remember seeing this advertised in Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah, I think a few stories may have appeared there. The Catalan Communications, they use the album format. But as far as I'm aware, the Catalan books in the 80s were very, very expensive, even for the time, for graphic novels. This is volume 1, and this is volume 2. And anytime that these stories got reprinted, we would get new covers, even though the stories were the same. One of my favorites.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It looks like Hubert.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art's fantastic.
Line-
The colors.
Well, Bernet was definitely a fan of Kubert. He liked doing stuff in an American style. Sanchez Abuli was definitely a fan of The Godfather, since the main character in Torpedo is called Luca, as if he's Luca Brasi.
Looks a little bit like George Corbin. James
This
Corbin.
is the stories are more in a. They're not hardcore gangster stories. There's a lot of nonsense humor in there, and Torpedo running into Peter Parker like troubles and sometimes not finishing missions. Here's volume 4. We'd cover this one.
Mm-hmm.
And volume 5.
Wow.
And by this time, the covers are getting a little bit more artistic, less realistic. Here's an interesting one. This is really hard. This is really hard to find. I haven't seen one of these in years, and this is a German comic, German Western comic. It was called the Redskins, and I've already shown covers of the French edition, so these are identical. So instead of putting the name of the feature, they would just use the story titles, but the art's pretty good. And just a few random issues here to show the ones with the more action. And this is pretty early in European colonization of the Americas, because you won't find the Native Americans with access to the same type of firearms and horses as the Europeans. And as you can see, we have conquistadors here, so this is probably very close to Florida. Here's an interesting one. I have a collected editions of this series, which is kind of rare in Portugal to do collected editions of Portuguese material. This is a historical comic about the age of Portuguese discoveries, and the character is called Porto Bom Vento. So nothing much happens to him, but he's kind of running along with the actual heroes from history, and as the Portuguese sailors make their way around Africa trying to get to India. And the artist, the writer artist José Rui, he died a couple of years ago. The elder statesman of the Portuguese comics world. He was almost 100. And he was still producing comics, but he's the things that he did most throughout his decades-long career was historical comics, and many of them are still kept in print because they go to school libraries. So this one is when the Cape of Good Hope was rounded for the first time. And this one is a not so well-known chapter in Portuguese discovery, which is the arrival in Newfoundland. We did explore the Canadian shores, but after the Treaty of Tordesillas, we were not allowed to settle there because according to the terms of the treaty, they were west of a line that was drawn, and only Spain could claim that land. And speaking of Spain, here's another one. One of my favorite Spanish artists, Miguel Ángel Prado.
Nice, Shannon.
This is the first of two albums from titled "The Daily Delirious," and it's nonsense humor about aspects of daily life, making it as ridiculous as possible. For example, you'd run into a cow in the middle of the road, and you'd cause an accident, and you would be forced to pay the cow's owner for the road. There's one episode which is one of my favorites. Is that a guy has to run around the park where the dogs go to relieve themselves, and when he complains, he actually gets fined by the judge for complaining. Here's volume 2. Dinosaur. I have a different book from him, which I bought a couple of years ago. But there are several collections. They're all short stories. They're 3 to 5 pages, and it's a bit like telling a joke that happened to somebody else. So you can read a few, stop, come back the next day, and they'll always be interesting. Prado does come to Portugal quite often, so next time I'll see if I can get his autograph.
Ooh.
And I think I am done. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get to bed because now I have to get up earlier than usual. But I will
Okay.
catch you guys on the replay.
All right.
Good
Good to
Night,
see you.
Paulo.
Take
luck
care.
with the job, Paul.
Good night, Paulo.
Good stuff.
Captain, can we go to you?
Yeah, I can. I got some stuff. Since he has something about bananas,
Yeah.
this is. I showed this before. Everybody's probably familiar with this. Book.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
This is back. I think it's a Kurt Swan cover, and I didn't write nothing on the back. I know George Klein did the inks, and George Klein around 1950 was working at Timely Atlas around 1950 or 49, and what's her name? Mike Sikowski brought in this woman. What was her name again? Violet something or other. Maybe Barkley as an inker. Was teaching her how to ink, and then he started having an affair with her. And then she started having an affair with George Klein, who was, an inker over there too. So it was kind of weird. And Sikowski was married at the time, of course. That's kind of interesting history there. Giant Weird Secret Origins. I guess that's what it's called.
Cool.
It's got a Congarilla story on there. So I thought there was kind of a theme with gorillas going on tonight, and I thought I'd look in my box where I had put some away with gorilla comics with gorilla themes, and found these in there. These were always great issues because you got even though they were reprints, you got a lot of story for the amount of money that you spent.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked this one.
Yeah.
One of the
I
gorillas
didn't
smarter.
look at that one. I love that cover.
What were the 3 books that he picked? What are the? He's
It's
like
got Treasure Island, Moby Dick, and Robinson Crusoe. It's
That's
from
great.
1973.
Love it.
And then I got Wonder Woman number 170.
Cool.
Gorilla in Outer Space. I think he wants to take her as a mate. That's there were several different covers with Wonder Woman and gorillas trying to marry her or
That's great.
take her as a mate. This is an interesting Jimmy Olsen cover because it's number 84 from 1965. It has what looks like King Kong and Godzilla on the cover, or they're trying to make it not look too much like them. It's kind of interesting there. And then I have some stuff I picked up at the Pulp Fest. But let me show you these. I had these. I pulled these out. These weren't from the Pulp Fest. These were from a different fest. This is the first story of Dr. Cyclops that became a movie.
Wow,
That's very cool.
that's really cool. It's really great.
So I was pretty lucky to get it. It was 1940. I was lucky to get this, years ago. It's gotten pretty expensive now because of the film. And then this I picked up. This is really beat up, but I got it for a pretty good price. It's nice, cover there. But look at all the damage on the side there, on the edge.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know how that is. Par for the course for those books, you know.
Yeah, the Pulp.
tough.
Yeah. This is also from 1940. And that'll be it for this round. I got some other stuff I'll show.
Cool.
Next round. What happened? Want me to show some more stuff or what? What's going on, man?
You might have gone to the restroom.
Oh, well, all right. No problem here. Here's an interesting pulp from, man, where did I get this? I don't even know what the year, let me see what the year is. In January 1950. Can you spot something unusual here on the cover? Take a close look at it, and then tell me if you see anything unusual, anything.
Well, I own this exact cover. Now the girl on the right looks a lot like Betty Page, and then the girl on the far left looks a lot like one of my exes. And that was like, in the center. That looks like Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's the reason why I bought that pulp when I saw it. But I don't know what you're seeing. What do you see?
Yeah, she does look a little bit like Betty Page. What I'm seeing is the nose. Take a look at the nose. What's supposed to be a nose. It's very cleverly disguised as a woman's backside. You don't see it? Here.
Oh, I do. Yeah, now I do. Put it back up, Hans. I want to see that again. Yeah. She's bending over, right?
Yeah, she's sitting down, and you can see her backside, and you can even see some weird arms that are stretched out. Was cleverly hidden by the artist, you know.
Okay, yeah, it's an optional illusion. That's great. I never noticed that.
See if I can, right there. You see that? She's sitting down. You can see her knee and some demonic hand. You know, a lot of these guys, they did that on purpose, you know, because they know that somebody that's buying it, some of the younger people buying it would probably see that. That's why they always had these sexy women on there. It was, you know, geared towards, you know, a late teen audience and guys in their 20s. I think I showed this already in another video from 1949. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, I showed these. Yeah, I showed this. It had the stamp on it.
That's a pretty cool cover.
I think that might, I don't know, I can't tell. It might be one of those bonnet stamps. Did I show this, the Iron Man in the last one?
No, I remember that one. That's neat.
That's great.
And the Kingdom of the Blind. These were, this was $8, this book right here. Really inexpensive. And I think I was showing this on Gratu's live stream on Sunday, I think. I showed this.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cover is by a guy called Matt Fox. I don't know who he is, but it's some beautiful artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did some horror covers in the 50s as well, Matt Fox.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
On comics, you mean?
Yes, correct.
Wow, yeah, okay.
He did some on Chilling Tale, something like that.
And then it's got stories in here by Theodore Sturgeon, who created a story called It. That was the original swamp monster.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was, you know, based on.
Very cool, Paul.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. This is a nice, you know. I'll take it out of the Mylar, so you can see it, but really
Yeah.
nice.
Beautiful.
All right, I'll show some more stuff later.
All right. Very good. Very good. It's Dr. Silver Age. Yep.
Great stuff.
All right.
Hey, Doc, Silver Age. I didn't get a chance to say hello to Shannon. He's probably gone by now.
He just left a little while ago.
Oh, I was talking to those guys for the last couple of days. How you doing, Doc?
Can we go to Grot 2?
Sure.
All right.
All right. Well, no one can afford this comic, this Lou Fine cover, historic 1939 comic. Take a good look at that Lou Fine drawing. But what is affordable is this, and this is someone traced it, but to me this is even better. And if I ever get a comic wall, this will always be on it, because to me this is just as good as the original drawing that's been traced from, and the logo it's just priceless. Roly-Poly Comics, number 15.
Wow, that's very
Traced,
cool.
but actually,
Roly-Poly.
the design of the costume, I think, is even cooler than the Blue Beetle, and the fact that this guy's even more garish.
Yeah, I think the same.
And the fact that it's called Roly-Poly, which means it makes no sense.
Did they get the idea for this cover from the other one?
It's actually, it's not just inspired, it's traced. I mean,
Wow.
I mean, it's literally traced from it.
Really?
But he changed.
Wow. Look at that.
I can't.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Wow.
That's
They
cool.
actually did that?
Now, so there are people that know how to clean. The back cover needs to be cleaned. I hear people talk about, I cleaned the cover, and people like Night Tiger. This needs to be cleaned. This is actually, it looks like they read this outside in the backyard and it was laying in the dirt. But it's just a great comic, and I just love that. And the heroes are all crazy. What was it this one that had a character? Maybe it's another one. Yeah, this is the character's called the Blue Circle, and that's his. That's how you say his name. Anyway, it's just insanity. I like comics that are just insane.
What year was that book from, Roly-Poly?
46. So that book was around, and let's see.
Roly-Poly.
I guess it started more as a funny animal comic, and then it morphed into that, but it kept the title, I assume. Sometimes I'll look at the ad before I look at the cover. Look at this. Get your prize, and it's like Red Ryder, Dick Tracy, Roy Rogers, and Gene Autry are all selling you on these prizes.
I've got that Gene Autry guitar in this box.
In the box, really?
Yep.
You gotta show that sometime.
Yeah.
That's the Fab Four right there. Gene Autry, Roy, Dick Tracy.
This is the comic.
Gun
The
hunt.
cowboy with the smoking guns. That place is gonna be a mess. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of blood. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched some years ago on HBO. They had a special about guns in America, and they were showing this guy that someone had broken into his house. He had to shoot the guy and kill him, and there was blood all over the floor. And you don't ever think about that. Who cleans up the blood when you have to kill someone in your house? You think, well, did the police clean it? No, the guy they showed him scrubbing the blood off of his own floor. It's horrifying. I mean, I guess you could hire some hazmat. I don't know.
Yeah, they
I
hire
guess I'm getting
cleaners.
off topic. New hope for bad skin sufferers. Just fun stuff. Make your own records. I noticed stuff that's really interesting technology for the time. And then one of them had where you can basically a 1940s version of Mr. Microphone where you can broadcast through any radio through AM signals. Let's see. What else can I
There was an episode of The Honeymooners where they were recording on a record player.
Yeah, I mean, the technology existed, but usually it was like you go to the state fair or some carnival, you go in a booth and you can record yourself saying hi to, but in your house, it's kind of weird, interesting technology. Let's see. Tales of the Unexpected. Number 85. Every day it becomes harder and harder to read what is on these comics, man. I like these aliens here. I mean, it's just like they weren't even trying, so I love it because the more absurd that it is, the better for me. Anyway, boy. See, all these amusement parks they list. That's something that I would be inclined to just look up each one of those on YouTube and see if you can find footage that people shot in those parks. I'll show you one more. Yes, go to them. Okay, what we got here? Okay. Which one was I looking at? Maybe it was this one. This early two-gun kid. I think this is the one I was looking at. That a lot of people had problems with bad skin. You know, you don't see kids with acne anymore. My face looked like I had acid thrown in my face when I was 15. I don't see anyone with acne anymore. Anyway, this is a Marvel. Well, what's it called? Marvel. Real bad cutting. It's just like the printing. Let's see where else was.
What number is that?
The page is all right. That page is just printed a little bit off.
What number was that?
Number 3.
Yeah, I got that. That's
cool.
Wow.
I like just you guys are probably. Oh, there's a coloring page. No one colored it. That's good. But I like this. There's Annie Oakley.
Wow, she's hot.
She is.
Who is the artist on it? Looks very much like the romance comics, like My Little Margie. Now, Eric, maybe you know the answer. When did boxing become a thing? The sport. Was it around in the Old West? Because this Old West story involves boxing, and I just somehow I think of boxing as coming along like it maybe in the 1890s.
Yeah, that would think that'd be a little bit more accurate, but it might have been around before that.
It was. Wyatt Earp used to do security for the boxing commission in the 1880s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were bare knuckled too.
Yes.
And they were
These guys have
partners?
boxing gloves. Yeah, I picture more bare knuckles and guys with big handlebar mustaches. But Two Gun Kid, what time period do you think it's set in? 1870s?
What they call pugilist?
Pugilist?
Yeah.
Pugilist? Pugilist?
Yeah, when what was it when the Two Gun Kid went when Hawkeye brought him back? I think he brought him back from 1873.
Okay. Well, I have no idea the history of boxing, but I could show more later. But it just seemed a little bit anachronistic to me at first glance, but I wasn't around the 1870s. So anyway.
Yeah, in fact, around that time, one guy found out he had a pretty good trick that he could take a hit with a baseball bat and survive pretty good. And so he would challenge everybody, for like $10, I'll let you hit me with this bat. And then he offered it to John L. Sullivan, the heavyweight champ at the time. Didn't know it was Sullivan, and that guy, it put that guy out of commission. He couldn't.
What year was that?
I'm going to guess 1870. But
when did baseball start?
that happened here on Market Street. The guy you're talking about, Micah,
Really?
he's a famous guy. His name was Oofty Goofty. You can Google him. He was one of the So he was one of the
Roly-Poly.
He was one of the first original men from Borneo. So what we're talking about is after the gold rush, like the 1860s, 1870s, Market Street, San Francisco, out of the entire Western United States, people would come from thousands of miles, all of the West, just to San Francisco to get some form of entertainment. And this guy was famous for doing that. And John L. Sullivan broke his back. It was like a dime. He would
Oh, it's a
it
dime.
was like a nickel to punch him or kick him, and a dime to hit him with a stick or a bat. And then also, same time period here in San Francisco, there's a super famous boxer that is from San Francisco. His name was Gentleman Jim Corbett, very famous guy.
Yeah.
He actually beat John L. Sullivan and became the heavyweight champion. And he grew up here in the Mission District of San Francisco as a poor Irish kid who worked, because of his athletic ability, he worked his way up by elbowing with the rich people and becoming very popular with the upper crust. And he was the first boxer to train at a place here in San Francisco called the Olympic Club, which is still to this day. It's a very famous, exclusive place that you can also like Google and you'd be amazed at it. But they don't talk about it. It's like Bohemian Grove. Yeah. The Olympic Club is like super exclusive. Anyway, that's where Gentleman Jim trained. And it was just like this real dichotomy thing. Here's this poor kid from the slum who worked his way up because of boxing to train at the Olympic Club and become the champion of the world.
Wow, that's
Just
some
looked
amazing
up.
information, man. Thanks
Yeah, I
for
looked
sharing,
up.
man.
Baseball goes back to 1839. I didn't realize it went back that far.
Yeah, there's some discrepancies as to whether or not Abner Doubleday actually invented. I think it's been pretty much debunked. Although I'm a baseball fanatic and I don't remember who actually gets the credit for it now, because Abner Doubleday has just been stuck in my head my whole life. But the first, the Reds, were the first official team in 1869, and then so there were like a couple loose configurations of teams before that, but then I think in 1869, I think the Reds were some like 77-0. And it's all been downhill from there, but that's your quick unwanted baseball lesson.
Yeah, it's all interesting.
Boxing, you get them all tonight.
Yes. All right. Meyer's got some great toys. I've been waiting for those. So take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys. So I pulled out just Planet of the Apes stuff. Well, the first thing I got is Planet of the Apes paperback, probably from the late 60s. Right?
Fantastic.
Cool.
Did you read that book when you were young and it's like nothing like the movie? Did you read it back in the 70s?
It's just totally nothing like the movie because the movie is based on this book.
Right, of course.
But this book is based on the TV show. This is Return of the Planet of the Apes. I think it says down here, what does it say? It's based on characters from Planet of the Apes, now a new NBC television show.
Right.
So these are some Planet of the Apes cereal bowl and a hot chocolate or Ovaltine cup that I've had since I was 10.
Wow.
My mom bought these for me at Safeway in 1974. They were just like this, and they were wrapped in that kind of thick, heavy 70s cellophane. You remember that stuff, you guys? And it was just like on the shelf there at Safeway. And so for a long time, I ate cereal out of this when I was a kid, and then I would drink like hot chocolate out of this. Let's look at the images.
Is that plastic?
Urco, yeah, it's plastic.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Kept it pretty nice.
This is from the TV show, that Galen characters from the TV show, right, Roger?
Yeah. Galen, yeah. I was just someone in the chat was wondering who was it? Because everything's moving. Was that paperback from the animated series or the live action series?
It says now a new NBC TV series. I actually believe that these are adaptations, novelizations of episodes from the cartoon.
Right, that's what I was thinking, because I think the TV show was on CBS, because they're the ones that aired the movies, and then they had that TV show that didn't last, one season, and then that is, I think, the cartoons. Yeah.
Yes, Marani is correct, and I believe I've showed this before, and Shannon pointed that exact same thing out. Shannon is a real big Planet of the Apes
Oh yeah,
fan.
yeah. Who isn't?
So we're gonna look at some figures now that are from different eras or different years. This is a Beneath the Planet of the Apes General Ursus figure from probably the 90s.
Cool.
Very nice.
These figures look like, and they're kind of cheapo. We'll pull them out and take a look at them.
It looks like a wax museum, like a cheap wax museum.
My Mego Apes figures, but I did buy some of these new figures over the years. Who made the cup and bowl? It says 19. Well, no, that's the Deka, D-E-K-A. It says Deka, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Don't they all have a copyright of App Jack?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Planet of the Apes merchandise.
The copyright is 1967 App Jack Productions, 20th Century Fox.
Yeah. But there was very little Planet of the Apes merchandise that came out in the 60s. It was mostly after the first movie aired on TV that everything exploded. Wow, look at that beard. That's crazy.
Isn't it? I mean, it's not terrible, but it sure isn't great, right? I mean, look at it.
He looks like a hipster.
Yeah. This is probably about 1996 or something, and they're just not that great. But I did buy this stuff. This is all what we call this 1/6 scale. But what these are is, this is a figure that is now a regular scale that's called 12-inch scale. But really, this all comes back to the original G.I. Joe. Like the granddaddy of all these 12-inch scale figures is really G.I. Joe. And so a lot of us our age that grew up with those original Joes, that's the reason why that scale, in my opinion, has translated all the way to modern day, because there's something about it that we like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at another one that's not that great. It's kind of crappy. It's from that Tim Burton Planet of the Apes movie. Remember
yeah.
Now, it's hard to even think of it as Planet of the Apes, to be honest.
Absolutely.
This figure, it's not terrible, and the design's not awful. I guess is this the guy that was in the Green Mile?
Oh dear.
I'm serious. I think this is that. Isn't this that same actor, Michael something? He died young, right?
Yeah.
Of a heart attack.
That looks more like a dog to me.
But it's not. It's just not that great. I mean, I don't know what. It's not terrible, but it wasn't great. Neither was the movie. But
John Goris is saying how much Beneath the Planet of the Apes scared him as a kid. And do you guys realize that was a G-rated movie? And remember when Charlton Heston was fighting with James Franciscus, and they're with spikes and their blood everywhere, and then the planet blows up, and the mutants.
When they pulled
how
their
did that get a G rating?
That was terrifying.
Yeah. Those guys that didn't talk were pretty.
And
weird.
then Conquest of the Planet of the Apes pushed an R rating in its original form, I think. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So now we fast forward to the early 2000s, and Sideshow Collectibles is on the scene, and they're really stepping it up and making these really cool action figures that are costing more, but they're going to be awesome, and it's really going to represent what we love, right? So let's pull this guy out. This is like an actual, now we're talking, right? Now that's a gorilla soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
this friend of mine's older brother had an original ape gorilla uniform hanging in his laundry room. And then Planet of the Apes played at the Texas theater, the theater where Oswald was arrested, and he wore it to the theater. Debbie Reynolds collected movie clothing from all these different movies, and she had some Planet of the Apes outfits, and she had a big auction. He bought it from her, because they had a lot of money. They were art dealers. Anyway, so I've been in the presence of an actual ape uniform. That's the ultimate collectible.
Yeah, and also it's kind of an ultimate one to have that if it was a part of Debbie Reynolds' collection, because she had not even just costumes, she had pieces of sets from like Cecil B. DeMille movies and stuff like that. She had pieces of Wizard of Oz. She had warehouses of stuff that when she died and Carrie died, her son had to like take care of all that stuff and do something with it. And he was a bit of kind of just a ne'er-do-well or something. I mean, that's as it goes.
That was a hell of a gut punch that Christmas when Carrie Fisher died, and then she died like a day or two later from the horror of it all.
Yep.
Oh man, now you're
That's cool.
Free him from the box, man. He's
so happy.
Look at his freaking jacket, man. That's awesome.
Oh, he's a bank too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And yeah, I pulled him out, so then I had to pull out this. This was in the same place, so I had to get the El Kabong.
Wow.
No.
This is a talking bank. You put a quarter in there, and he goes El Kabong.
That's awesome.
What is he? Is he a bobblehead?
Yeah, he's a bobblehead too. He's a bobblehead and a talking bank. El Kabong. I mean, I've got more stuff, but that's probably pretty good for now, Micah.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff tonight.
That was great.
No, thanks.
Okay, I guess we're what are we up to? Breen yet? All right. Here we go.
That's
He's got that smile on his face.
No, it's
haircut, Breen. That looks nice. Did you get a haircut?
yeah, a couple weeks ago. I do want to mention real quick that I made my first actual video of 2023, not on my channel, but I did one on the Thinking Critical channel.
Oh,
and so if you guys feel like checking it out, it's actually doing pretty well. It's got about 9,500 views so far.
Wow.
yeah, that guy averages about 10,000, I think. Thinking Critical.
It's close. So this he's fairly successful. Let's get the breening out of the way. Here's
Yay!
And
nice.
Let's breen you go check style and
all right.
Also,
yay!
Some random post-crisis DC. I've been reading a bunch lately, so I'd show a few of those.
Nice.
This series, I've forgotten how much fun this was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. The Invasion.
I never read that. Is that pretty good? Obviously, you just said it was.
Well, it's about 3 years past the crisis, and all the the Kuns and the Dominators and all the alien races got together basically to decide who was going to subjugate Earth, and it focused a lot more on them than the heroes, except for in the third issue where I think one of the Dominators, after they'd been defeated, he unleashed something that made all the heroes deathly ill. So that was like the drama for the third issue.
I think those were all 80 pages, weren't they?
Yeah, and then there were a bunch of crossovers back when crossovers actually mattered.
What's your video called on Thinking Critical?
It's things like why old school collectors or old school readers aren't coming back.
Why old school comic fans dump DC?
Well, we talked about Marvel and DC. After I'll look it up after I finish my round. And But I mean, it was released yesterday. I do know that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's Batman the Cult #1. My
That was a
dumbass read that. I can't find #2. I have 3 and 4, right there. And I'll forget this by the time I find issue 2.
I found it. Yeah. What do you guys think of this new Flash movie? Have you seen the trailers?
The trailer looks good.
Is there a precedent in comics for this version of Supergirl with the brunette and all that?
No, you can. That was a up yours to people like us.
Yeah.
They made her look like a boy. In fact,
Yeah.
the guy I work with, he goes, and he considers himself a progressive. He goes, I thought that was Superboy. And if they had to do over again, they probably would. But yeah, because that girl is gorgeous, but they taped her breasts down.
Okay.
They de-emphasized any curves that she may have had.
Wow.
Let's throw in a Hulk for Rod in case he's still watching.
Oh, wow. They should just call it a Batman 3, though. It looks like more of a Batman movie than a Flash movie.
It's a very underrated series. Starman.
Starman was great, yeah.
Actually, both Starman series were very good. And here's Wonder Woman 124.
That's a nice cover. Look at that.
And I'm going to show this. This probably won't be that. I mean, this won't be impressive to you guys because you guys probably have most of the magazines. But I had a recent acquisition, and by recent I mean yesterday and today.
That's nice. Wow.
Oh, those are nice hardcovers. Huh?
Yeah, they were supposed to start reprinting soft cover today, but we didn't get them, and I guess it doesn't matter now.
Wow.
I love that image so much. My cousin used to have that poster when we were in high school, and I was very envious of that poster.
Volume 4.
Dark Horse puts those out, right?
Yeah. These are like the 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah, I got the creepy one, the creepy archives one, the first volume.
#6.
That's nice.
Holy smokes, man.
#7.
Wow.
When these came out, were they what, $35, $40 books or more?
50.
50. Oh wow, that's a lot of.
Did you get the complete set?
No, I could have. And number 10, I decided volume 10 would be a good place to cut off.
Did they go through the whole run through the superhero mid to late 70s eerie?
There's like, I think 27 volumes.
Oh wow.
Because each one has 5 issues, so I don't think they finished it, or maybe they did. But we bought like 27 or 28 of them, and I got a ridiculously good deal on those. And he's bringing Creepies in later this week. So that's great. I'm now gonna get the first 10 of those too. Problem is, like I said, now I can't lift them. These are like lead weights.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for this round.
Okay. Very good stuff. All right, let's see lead paint here. $20. Yep.
Oh, that would be great. That's affordable.
I will now go, and if any of you needs to get out of here soon, let me know, and I'll go to you next. First off, we'll do some breeding of Gratu.
Huh?
I didn't dig it out special, Gratu. It was in my stack for this second round.
Oh, rats. Sorry.
So, no. That's well, great minds are thinking alike. Look at that rainbow. Well, I tell you, that green hair is just amazing.
Well,
So you guys are my friends. You're not strangers. Otherwise, I couldn't give candy to strangers. So
Good gracious, Ted.
check out. It's got roller skates, fishing pole. No, it's fencing.
baseball bat, football,
Yeah.
pads,
That would make for an interesting sport.
Get better and
all
everything.
team tryouts.
Hey,
Early version of rollerball.
there's some Mike Zeck, Captain America.
Story arc there, finishing off the Astonishing Tales run from Deathlock storyline.
Yeah, those were fun years. Yeah.
And I know Dr. Silver Age has this for some reason.
Yeah, was that Assistant Editors Month or something?
Yep.
Yep.
Another Mike Zeck cover.
Go checks to give it to DC there.
Here's The Tumbler by John Byrne.
Yeah, I loved that era too. I loved Burn on Clap.
And oh no, Bucky. This is by Paul Neary. Artwork.
Yep.
Very seldom heard of.
Look at that.
All the floating heads.
You got Stan Lee on there too, huh?
All right, here's a Hitler cover for you.
Oh yeah.
Hitler and his company would freak out.
And more war stories. Here's Sergeant Fury.
Cool.
I already had it, but
Those gams.
just can't resist. Had to have another one. More World War II is a unknown soldier.
Look at their legs. What is going on there?
Well, there's an old painting of pirates, and they're fighting on a beach just like this. And a lot of people have done that pose for various illustrations.
Single leg takedown.
Yeah, it's the way to trip them, right? Trip them backwards,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Here's a
Rock
little
hole.
Maybe
UFO action.
Nice.
Yeah, like, get a good look at this guy's face.
I hope that's what they really look like when they show up next week.
Hope they're purple and green like that.
Here, this poor guy, Citizen Kane on his sled here. Just trying to.
Rosebud.
And I promised Steve I would show Charlton.
Yeah, that's cool. Good old Beetle Bailey.
He's about to get in serious trouble when General Half Track walks in.
Smoking a stogie too. Gosh.
Have you guys ever seen the Beetle Billy cartoons from the 60s?
Yes.
They seem to, I've never saw them growing up. They seem to appear on YouTube about 5 years ago. And it's weird. He's the same voice as Jughead in the Archie Filmation early 70s.
And I'll end on a Space Family Robinson.
Wow.
There was always, I like every cover on Lost in Space. They're all just fantastic.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So, is anybody in a hurry to get out of here? I can go to you next.
I gotta go eventually, but I don't have to go next.
All right, Roger, we'll go to you.
All right.
Well, we all have to go eventually, don't we?
Yeah, eventually, within 15 minutes or so. So I actually met up with another YouTuber, Nom, and a comic bookworm, and we went comic book hunting over in Arlington, Virginia, and raided the dollar bins for about 3 hours. So I found this beauty here.
Wow.
So
I mean, and it's great shape, Basil Wolverton. I mean, you can't leave this there for $1. I mean, you just can't. Right. But we actually were trying to complete my Warlord run, and he gifted me this one here, the first appearance.
Nice.
The first issue special number 8.
Yeah, first appearance. Very cool.
And if you've never read the Warlord series, I mean, it's a reader series. It's, great stuff here. I mean, really in-depth kind of storytelling, good subplots, really logical kind of situations that he gets in and out of. This is signed by the writer and artist Mike Grell.
Wow, that's great.
That's very cool. He charges $25 a signature.
Yeah, I met him in Toledo, and he's a sweetheart. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
and he's got a lot of money for his sig.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get his sig because I already have like 4 or 5 of them, as coincidentally. So look at these covers here.
Great stuff.
There's a little anti-gravity clothing there almost for that lady there.
Mariah.
I think is that Tara? Yeah.
Well, that's Mariah. Tara was the brunette.
Tara was a brunette. That's right. That's Mariah. That's right. Here's a little. This reminds me of like Magnus Robot Fighter. Where the robots are just sprawled everywhere.
Yeah, that was cool. Then they mixed the technology into the sword and sorcery too.
Into sword and sorcery. Yeah. I have to reread these, Meyer, because I remember reading this 30 years ago, and they were just spectacular.
So I've been actually rereading those. I have a stack getting real close to me, and they really hold up. And I read them too right off the rack when I was a kid, and they were so great, so much fun, and easy to find. They were always at my store.
Yep. These are not in high demand. I picked them up from the dollar bin. I've gotten for 50 cents, but they're great comics. They don't have to be expensive to be great comics. I'll just show about the first 20 something here. Here, right.
That's a great cover.
Look at that, right in the sights. It's kind of like, like what do you call that guy from Australia who would hunt gators?
Steve Irwin.
Irwin. Yeah. Here's a good little personification of death cover, purple cover. Really great stuff here. There's really something for everybody. If you're a cover collector, great covers. If you're a reader, great story. And if you like art, off the charts, great.
Or an Edgar Rice Burroughs fan.
Oh yeah.
That stuff,
exactly.
it's you can buy the whole run inexpensively and entertain yourself for a summer. Jonah Hex is another comic like that very few people collect, but
correct.
Like you're immersed in this bizarre spaghetti western.
Yeah, the difference is Jonah Hexes are expensive.
More expensive.
Are they now?
Yes.
I thought they were still. They used to be still cheap back in Texas.
Yeah. And these are also very self-contained. You don't have to go out into the regular DC universe and find crossovers and subplots. It's all self-contained for 99% of it.
Yeah, just a little bit after the crisis, they brought in Power Girl.
Yeah, there were some crossovers in like DC Presents and things like that, where they brought them into the DC universe, but most of it is right here.
Yeah.
Oh, little werewolf cover here.
Yeah, two of the issues crossed over into the Legends miniseries.
Yeah,
that's I think what I'm thinking of.
That's right. That's right. Here's another really great cover here with that green skin beauty underwater. Song of Lygia. And getting to the end here. Just really detailed, great colors, great layouts here. And I'll end with this one here.
A nice one. That's a nice cover.
Yeah, and this is the lady who can turn into a cat. I'll reread these because my memory's failing. All right, gentlemen, I'll get out of here. I'll watch the rest of my phone. God bless, and I'll see you hopefully in a few weeks.
See you, Raj.
Take care. Take care.
All right, are we up to Steve now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, since everyone has asked, here is the Gene Autry.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect it to look like that. That's really sophisticated looking.
It is got the handle still attached. A little bit of rip here, but handle still attached. Has the image.
They make it look like alligator skin or something, or snake skin.
It's on both sides.
Wow.
That is neat, man.
And inside the Very colorful.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that, man.
Steve, where did you find this? Is there a story?
I used to go in Winchester, Virginia. There used to be a cap and pistol show, cap guns, toy guns, and that kind of stuff. And I collected the Gene Autry cap pistols and anything Gene Autry, and this was there.
Wow.
And here's the tune finder for the chords.
Wow, that thing looks,
Got the original
that looks
string.
gorgeous. Look at that, man.
Got a little bit of Gene
Wow,
Autry.
that's gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous, man. Look at that. Man.
Songbook. Yeah.
So it's really almost a real guitar unless a toy.
Yeah, it's plastic, but it's got Gene Autry here.
How many strings is that? 4?
4 strings. There is a string missing. There's supposed to be a 5th string. I think it broke a while back. It was 5 when I bought it. And but I like around. Got the belt around the big
Yeah,
hole.
that's nice.
And got Gene.
That company M&E made all kinds of toy instruments in the 60s so kids could form their own garage band and be the Rolling Stones in their garage. But they're cool commercials.
Wow, that's beautiful.
They say, "Jumpin' Jiminy, it's from M&E."
That's great.
Yeah, that's that.
Really a museum piece. There
Yeah,
can't be very many like that.
Pretty lucky, I thought, to have this. I don't know if it's all been married or it's all together, like the box came or whatever, but I know I bought it like this. So my assumption is the dealer had it all together from the get-go. So
yeah,
something like that. You probably couldn't even be able to afford to buy that thing today.
yeah, I can't remember what I paid for it back then. It had to have been maybe 15 years ago when I bought it. And it was I can't remember what it was, but I bought that, and I bought a cat pistol. It was a Kenton cat pistol, the short barrel one. I bought that in a Gene Autry holster at the same show, and for everything was less than $400 for everything that I bought. I do remember that. That's all that I took, and I had money when I came home. So.
You guys, if you're lusting for one, here's you can get one for $225. Best offer right now. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like,
with the box and everything.
Yeah.
$200.
But
thinking
you got to realize nobody knows who Gene Autry is anymore. It's just like the Big Little books. Only no one younger than us. And it's amazing we know about him.
I figured that for about $800 or something.
I would
today.
too. So act quick. Secretly after the show was over. Sorry.
If he's watching, it just went up.
Yeah, really. A few more books from the reading box. Magnus number 2.
Ooh, nice.
Has a article about trees. I don't know why, but it does. Number 4. Let's see if I can remember the date here. 63 from November. I'm looking at the old Micah, and Micah taught us to look at the date and month on the little numbers there. Super Team Family number 7 with some Doom Patrol action, some Teen Titans.
It's one of Maranya's favorite books.
Super Team Family, that one. Super Team Family number 10.
Cool.
Hello, Bronco. Nice to see you.
Family number 14. Get some really good Wonder Woman action on this cover. I really like it. The giant robots. And Power Showcase, which is Power Girl 99. I think it's Joe Staten, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. This is the kitchen sink spirit book #1.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
I like the way he's laying back there with these two girls.
And #2.
They're trying to sell it to people in head shops by making it a little more risque, but the inside is actually the way it was printed in the 40s.
Yeah.
Really nicely done too. Kitchen Sink did a great job with
Oh yeah. Dennis Kitchen's one of those guys that really should be known a lot more than he is for what he's done. I got his book. I'll show it next Fossils. He signed the oddly I can't remember the title. I have it on my bookshelf, but Dennis Kitchen wrote a great book. Met him at Baltimore, talked to him for a little bit. He signed the book for me. But Dennis Kitchen's really an unsung person as far as comic books and the underground
Strange
movement.
Tales.
Yeah, Strange Tales 167. Classic Steranko cover. Number 165.
Oh, excellent.
Steranko was at that Pulp and Paper convention.
Yeah, I saw in your video, and so was Will Murray. You went right by Will Murray.
Did I?
Yeah, he close to the end of it. He's got his mask on. He looks up at you, and you panned away from him. But yeah, he writes all those new Doc books.
Maybe that's why I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, he had
the mask on.
Yeah, he had a mask on. And look at your video again. It's when they're laying out all the Doc paperbacks, the bigger $25 books.
Yeah.
That was his table.
Oh.
And when you passed Will Murray. Yep.
I didn't even know that Steranko was going to be there. He
had no one. No one knew because there was no line. I saw the video.
Yeah.
I would have talked his ear off. I'd have been there all day long. He would probably get away from me, kid. You bother me. Good old Sam Glasman, his freaking war stories, combat. Can't get any better than this when it comes to some war books. This is good stuff.
I like people that are old enough to call us kid.
Oh yeah, get away from kid, you bottom. And I wonder who got this cover. I don't know, but
oh dear.
But
well, what do you know, Wilbur?
You like cats?
God. Do we see it again? I think we do. On the Giant Size Thor, which is such a great cover, though.
You can't swing at dead cats without hitting a cane cover.
Oh goodness.
Here's a Howard Winfield cover. I've shown this before, but I read it again. It's very delicate. It's got some issues on the spine, but it's a great cover. Very cool. And Jace Pearson, the Texas Rangers. This is number 10 of his own title.
I think I just showed that last week. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm so far behind on my video watching. And last for this round, well, my last book I'm going to show, my man Johnny McBrown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is I don't know. I can't tell. Whatever. I didn't write it on the back. But it's a 4-color book. But it's a really good read. Johnny McBrown comics are really, really good. That's all I got, guys. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I guess we'll go to the Great Captain then.
Okay. Hey, I just want to show you my. I don't know if you can.
You ain't got bananas.
Got a banana here. Got a bananas here. I got King Kong over here. Godzilla over there. This came out in his Treasury Edition came out in '68, I think. And what's that guy's name? George Wilson, I think, did the cover on here.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
And kind of weird. At the same time, they came out with the regular comic size of that Treasury Edition as well.
Very nice.
And the thing, what is curious to me is that this has it like a September 1968 date on it, but the release date was actually in June. So it came out like June, 4 months before the cover date, the indicia. Usually it's like 2 months or something, but I don't know. This was probably a one shot anyway. But it's great cover, George Wilson.
I think the Treasury size came out in '76.
This one?
Well, I bought it when it was. I think they re-released it in the '70s.
Oh, re-released yeah.
When the Jessica Lange movie came out, because that's when
Yeah.
I bought that.
Yeah, this is 1968 right here.
Well, but it might still have the original. I don't know. Look at the price. Is it like $1 or something on there?
It's $1. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think it says 68 because that's when it was originally copywritten, but they were trying to cash in on the remake of King Kong. I bought that in '76. That big one. The small one is really from the '60s. That one's from the '70s, I think.
I might
tell you inside.
I went on the Grand Comics database, and they dated this Treasury Edition at 1968. June 1960 or September 1968, with the same release date as that other one.
Well, there's an edition they reprinted in the '70s. They might have redone it twice.
How much was it in the '70s? The same price, $1?
I can't. I don't think there were Treasury editions in the '60s. I think, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's take a look. You could be right. No, it has 1968 here. And I did look it up on the Grand Comics database, and they did say, I think you're right. I think there was a '76 reprint, but
yeah, I must have the '70s one. If that's the case, that's probably the first Treasury-sized comic.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that beats the Rudolph one that DC put out in '72.
Let's see. Here's another one. Here's another one of these covers. I don't know. Meyer, are you watching this? Meyer Greenblatt, let's take a look at this cover and see if you can see anything. You notice anything unusual about the cover?
No. What is it?
Here, look what they did here. Well, first of all, this is, I notice this stuff all the time because I've got books where they talk about this, how they would hide things even in the comics, but they also did it on the pulps. And savvy kids would find this stuff, and the artists knew it, and that's why they were drawing it. But they're making that look like a rear end right there. You see that? It's actually supposed to be part of her dress, but they made it look like it's her backside. It's all very cleverly done. And on purpose.
That King Kong one, the Whitman, is from '68. The one in 1977 was from Sports Scene Publications, but it had the exact same cover and everything. So I looked it up on mycomicshop.com.
This is a Whitman.
Right. So that's the '68 one. In '77, it had a different. The cover was exactly the same, but it wasn't Whitman. And then they did it also in the UK. So there's a British version too.
Yeah, according to the price guide, it says that there's a King Kong. It's 68 pages, painted cover, and the Whitman no number Treasury, 68 pages, 1968, same cover as a gold key issue. Then King Kong, 10 by 13 and a quarter, 68 pages, came out in '78, and they had $1 cover price.
That's these are both from '68 then.
Yeah.
Then what else I picked up at the Pulp and Paper convention is another Amazing Stories. This was only $5.
Wow. That's a great one.
Great colors on that. I love that blue. Very cool.
1946.
And that's a good price. I mean, that looks intact. It's got the front and the back cover and everything, and there's not any big chunks out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I found it. They and this convention was all about comics, pulps, paperbacks. They had some movie posters and some lobby cards. No Funko Pop, no action figures. There wasn't any cosplay. It was just like the old-fashioned conventions that I used to go to, the early ones back in '72, '73. But here you can see why it was $5.
Okay.
Missing some stuff.
There's some missing pieces there.
Yeah. But I mean $5. I'm gonna not leave it behind because I love these kind of covers with spiders and spider webs.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wouldn't leave that behind for $5 either.
So that back cover was the Colossus, one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah, the comic's in better shape than the Colossus of Rhodes.
Yeah.
I better put this back in.
Not comic, Pulp, sorry.
This is a thick book, man. I think that 244 pages. This Pulp. This is in a lot better shape too. 25 cents.
Whoa.
Man.
Wow. I've never seen that before, Hans. That's incredible. That's beautiful. The colors and the size of it. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's huge, man. I've never seen pulps like this on eBay. There probably are there, but
it's like a 5.0 at least. That looks great.
What did I pay for this? $12. 1942.
That's a steal right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 dealers that had. There were a lot of dealers that had pulps there, but 2 of them that I was going to that had these fantastic prices, and I just, I couldn't pass them up. I mean, you're never going to find this on eBay at that price.
It's just us buying this stuff. Well, now they're like, just like what Gratu said, you'd think it would be costing much more money, but it's really, who are they going to sell it to but us?
Right, yeah. Here's a Fantastic Adventures. It's another one of these 244 pages.
Wow.
That's when I paid $7 for.
I wish I had more wall space. I would make all those posters and just put them everywhere.
And I love this cover. When I saw this, Amazing Stories, $15 from 1940.
Wow. Fishmen of Venus. That's cool.
That's pretty nice. And there we got one. I think I don't remember where I showed this, but it's another one of these spider covers.
Oh, that's a creepy ass spider, man.
Yeah, and it's got damage on it. What did I pay? $8. 1948. It's got this damage on the bottom, I think probably from moisture, water damage. But the Mad Planet, Fantastic Novels magazine. Oh, look, you can see some of the pieces came off, from the edge. That's how bad, these things were with the paper quality. Just comes right off. Here's what I paid $15 for. It's another one of these huge pulps.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic Adventures.
Oh man, the Blue Lady.
1942.
Never been read.
Wow.
Prometheus. Yeah, I decided I'm not gonna buy any kind of stuff like this, even if I had the money from eBay anymore, because they take a chunk out of the shipping now, and they make you pay for. It's just gotten too expensive, man. It's just, you can't find these prices on eBay like this.
Mm-hmm.
This was $10.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try finding this on eBay for $10. No way. Then you gotta pay tax on it, and now they're depending on what state you're in, it's going to be all over in every state soon. They're taxing they're considering the shipping as part of the purchase price, so they tax that too. It's ridiculous.
They shouldn't. That's a service.
I know, but the government now is not considering that. They passed something, I don't know, the last couple of years or whatever it was, where they are now charging for that, thanks to the current administration, I suppose. But Startling Stars is a pretty nice cover. $10.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one I got here, I picked up. I'll take it out of the. What did I pay for this? Oh, it looks like I paid $20. This is probably the most expensive one. $20. $1940. And I think that the only reason this is a little bit more expensive is because it's got this woman in the Venus flytrap, a giant Venus flytrap. It's kind of like a bondage cover, so otherwise it wouldn't be that expensive.
Have any of you guys ever successfully kept a Venus flytrap? You know how you used to be able to buy them at the grocery store, and you're supposed to put a piece of hamburger meat. They could never keep it alive for more than a week.
Me
right?
neither. I tried once.
Same here.
Maybe if you have a lot of flies in your house,
hey, here's something
dead animals in your house and let the maggots start.
Oh, I didn't see this. I should have taken it out of the bag, but I didn't see this. Looks like a paper worm got in there.
Yeesh.
See that?
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right through.
I expect to see that when I open up an oldie like that.
Yeah, I should have I don't know. I was. But anyway, Camelot on the back.
The T-zones.
And that's it.
You're being asked, does that have a lot of art inside?
Well, there's some illustrations. Yeah. Let's see. Not a lot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some beautiful art in there. I have some. The guy that I know of that was famous for drawing inside of those was a guy named Virgil Finley.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say the same thing.
That's the guy to look for.
Let's see here. You're talking about Virgil Finley. This is him.
Yeah, that's his stuff. Stippling. He used a lot of stippling.
Mm-hmm. That's Virgil Finley. Funny that you were just talking about that. Yeah. So I got a car I can show, but I don't want to take too much time. Let somebody else go, and if there's still enough time, I'll show them my car.
Okay.
My diecast car.
I guess we're up to Meyer Greenblatt.
Let's get right back to the toys.
Oh yeah.
So a couple years ago, I picked this up. This is one of the reproductions of the original Aurora models. You know, this isn't the real one, but my real one is long gone. But I bought this one because I loved this model so much as a kid. So when I was a kid, I bought this Dr. Zaius model because when I went to I was probably about 8 or 9. When I went to the store, all they had was Dr. Zaius, right? They didn't have the ones I wanted, right? Which would have been, you know, the gorilla here and Cornelius over here. But I got Dr. Zaius instead. But I was really happy with Dr. Zaius, and I made him and I painted him, and I kind of kept the figure like with my action figures. So this Dr. Zaius figure in this model, I kind of kept him around and played with him like he was an action figure. This original Hulk model. Now, this is also just the reproduction, the new one that's been put out that's faithful to the original molds. Not the same box, obviously, and didn't come with the comic book like the old one did, the Aurora one. But I also, same time, same age, I made this Hulk model and painted him and used this as an action figure for years and years.
But that one's bigger. They enlarged the mold for that reproduction.
Oh, was it bigger? The mold is bigger?
Yeah, it's bigger. That's why the box is bigger.
I didn't know that.
Dr. Zaius wasn't originally Aurora. It was a Dar or something like that. But it's the same mold. Oh, look at that.
This is this really cool King Kong figure from pretty recent, a couple of years ago, from a King Kong movie that maybe came out 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I bought it because it's huge. It's like 30 inches tall. It's
Man.
And it's articulated too, you know. It's my stuff. I love giant articulated figures. So I pulled this out when I was looking through and finding all this stuff tonight. So here's some other stuff that's random that I grabbed. This is a third-party Judge Dredd figure that came out that is so like not licensed that it doesn't even say Judge Dredd on it. It just says artistic interpretation. And this came from China, and it is one of the greatest figures I'm going to show you guys. It's the Judge Dredd from the movie Dredd that we love so much, except it's in a blue costume, so it's more like what we're used to in the comic book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is. It's got some nice detail.
Under here, it's this guy, Carl Urban, right? That actor. And then he also has a hairpiece. So if you want to take the helmet off now, he's good.
Have you seen the Mattel statue that they made in the 90s of Dredd?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, look it up online when you get a chance. It's pretty badass. He's really big, and the base is his badge.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, He's got the day stick in his hand. It's just really cool. But Mattel made the big, huge statue of Dredd. It's very nice.
I'm just going to see how easy it is to get this out, just so I can show it real quick. So then a couple of years later, the same company, the same third-party company that put out that Dredd figure we looked at, they put out this Judge Anderson figure. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Wow, she looks hot, man.
Pretty neat figure. Love that helmet. That helmet that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, the helmet really does it. Now they put out a motorcycle too, but I wasn't up for spending like $400 for a miniature motorcycle.
Wow.
So I've got one more thing to show. Well, yeah, a couple more things to show you guys real quick. Let me set this Judge Anderson down and reach this other stuff, and it'll be worth it. Trust me, and it won't take long. So first off is this. This is really cool, really huge.
Wow. Look at
vinyl white gorilla. It also he scales perfectly with these the large figures that I was just showing you. The 12-inch figures, when you put him next to like a G.I. Joe or a Barbie, he looks like an actual like 800-pound gorilla. This figure, so over the years, a few companies have tried to do stuff that is close to a Frank Frazetta type barbarian figure, you know, and they've done like Death Dealer figures and stuff, but nothing really quite hit very well. Like there was nothing that was made that really looked to me like Frazetta, or looked to me like how I wanted a barbarian type sword and sorcery figure to look. Till I found this figure. This figure is like well, first of all, it's like it has a silicone rubber body with a stainless steel skeleton inside of it, and it has this head that snaps on here.
Wow.
You could put different heads on there too, huh?
Yeah, and he also comes with this. Geez, if I can get this out. This is kind of part of the selling point for me. This helmet.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And then just one more thing to show you guys.
You can give that barbarian a little mini can of Bud Light and put a Barbie head on him.
Oh yeah, there you go. So this is a John Carter action figure.
Very cool.
It's pretty good. It's okay, right? And this is kind of a teaser for upcoming video on my channel. So that John Carter figure is okay, but the reason why I have the John Carter figure is because I discovered a few years ago this Tars Tarkas statue.
Wow.
So they made this Tars Tarkas statue, and it's amazing. And I bought it, and then I found out that the same company that made the Tars Tarkas also made a John Carter figure to go with it as a pair, right? And the John Carter figure is really not as good as the Tars Tarkas, but the Tars Tarkas is great. And I found it today when I was looking for all this stuff. It was in the back bedroom underneath my bed, but now it's out here, and it's like the size of a small child. So now that it's in my living room, it takes up all this room. So I have to make a video about it. So if you watch my channel, this is coming up. And if you don't watch my channel, come and check it out. We'll be doing a video on this Tars Tarkas statue.
Wow.
Very cool.
Scale.
And that's it. That's it. Thanks, Micah. Thanks for having me on.
And Meyer Bronco
Great.
Bear wanted to know, do you have this Conan?
I don't. My son has those Bronco, and you're right. Those are amazing. The Mezco 112th Conan, he has 2 of them, and they're both fantastic. Yeah, those are great. Those are great figures.
Okay. All right. Well, take it away, Gratu.
I was just noticing this cool 1950 ad for the John Wayne movie Sands of Iwo Jima.
Neat.
Great
Johnny
movie.
Gar, right next to this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you think about the slaughter that happened in Iwo Jima, and then right above this happy
The double bubble.
bubble gum ad? A lot of cool ads in here. This is Wild Western number 11.
Nice.
Nice. That's a nice white cover too. Wow.
Kid Colt. Man.
That's very nice.
What is that there in the center? A feather or a centipede?
It looks like a wheat.
That's the
Piece of wheat.
it's the laurel. It's Caesar's laurel wreath, I think.
Oh,
right?
okay, probably so.
Or a beer hop. I don't know.
This is one of the better Johnson Smith ads I've seen. Just as far as
Yeah.
Smoking Skull, and they weren't as good in the 70s, but
That's like a good read there, Ratu.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so anyway, it's
Man, gorgeous book.
Captain Tootsie.
CC Beck.
Yeah, let's see.
I always go for those ads too. That's one of the first things I look at. When I'm looking at the books, I look at the ads and those Golden Age comics.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Here's an ACG Blazing West.
Oh, those are great books.
Very good.
Look at that cover. Wow.
Looks like teeth to me somehow.
Yeah, that's what I thought at
Big
first.
mouth. Again, make your own records. I think that's the same ad we saw before. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes I guess the acid in the covers, it's kind of burned looking, but the pages are still pretty white.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bell. They'd have these text pages just so I guess they could mail them cheaper. Is that how they could say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheaper rate.
Yeah.
It's just like in all these little gangster tricks they would do. Nobody ever read those. I mean, I
No.
as a kid, did you ever read those text stories?
No.
I don't read them now. And
I bought a ton of Disney books, and there was always a text story, and I always went right past it. So.
See,
Yeah.
now in the books of this era, sometimes those were written by Mickey Spillane. And
yeah, well, some of them, like I looked at one recently. It was like an old Joe Palooka, and the text story was a stuntman story with a Jack Kirby illustration. So it was like a Joe Simon Jack Kirby stuntman story. Was the text story?
Ooh, this one's not in as good a shape, but it's got like we saw the Sands of Iwo Jima little ad. This is
Oh, that's neat.
that would have been great if they were really there.
Is that
That
the
is-
black
Iwo
cat?
Jima, it was really these people that brought the flag up. But
Is that black
That is
cat on the
fantastic.
cover?
I love that.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's at the front.
using forecaster. If I'm not mistaken, the real photograph that was taken, all the guys died. Am I correct on that? I
I'm not
think
sure.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I
I'm not-
think they're all passed.
Yeah.
this comic is like insane, like LSD crazy, insane. It's just like someone in an asylum drew it. It's wonderful. I mean,
Someone in an
it's
asylum.
really, it's just like it's just insane. That's the kind of thing I love.
Funny.
So hold on a second. Get my magnifier. July 1945. When did the war officially end? In 45.
I think
Oh,
August,
June
right?
6th is 45. Is that it? Is it June 6th?
June 6th, 45.
For Germany, and then I think Japan was August, but I could be wrong.
So July of 45.
I ain't got
Yeah, I mean, it's basically ending about the time that this is Family Comics Incorporated. Here's Captain Freedom, and the whole thing is just insane. All through the comic, Captain
great.
Freedom and the Young Defenders.
I just love the era.
Now, someone told me that Gondwanaland is reprinting these books. I'm sure he's reprinted everything that ever existed. Speed Comics.
September.
Yeah,
I haven't read Speed Comics, but it looks really good. Now I'm interested.
Yeah, it's like it's written for kids on speed. I guess that had been invented by the Germans, right? At this point, weren't the German soldiers hopped up on this?
Yeah, I think Hitler invented methamphetamine. I think
it's written for Hunter Biden. No, he was on crack, but there's a crack comics too for Hunter Biden to read.
There is.
Yeah,
Crack and Speed. That's another thing for a comic book wall. Crack, Speed. What other titles are there that have double meanings?
Well, now I want Roly-Poly.
Yeah, Crack, Speed, Roly-Poly.
Yeah, Roly-Poly.
What? I don't even know what I showed. Yeah, let's look at this last one there.
You need to get Crack, Speed, and that Teenage Dope Fiends one.
Oh yeah. You have a whole wall of dope comics.
Reform School Girl, you know.
You know, when I was a kid and I went through a comic for the first time, I'd always start at the back and go this way, like I was Japanese in a past life. I've always done that, but so I'm looking at the ad on the back first. The King of All BB Guns. And,
Yeah, man.
So it's DC.
Pretty nice.
Okay.
Pretty nice shape.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a little humorous story inside Sagebrush Sam. Then you've got your serious story. Let's see. Well, summer's coming up, so I've stocked up to have some summer reading. But it'll be just like the Twilight Zone episode. I got all these comics, and then it's like all of a sudden I wake up, I can't see. You know? It's like that's gonna happen to me. I'm sure something like that happened. I was scared for a second, thinking I damaged it, but I realized that was already there. That tear. It's like, so I got to figure out from Captain Strangelove this mending tissue.
Yeah, mending.
I mean, where do you don't get that from Amazon.com? I wouldn't think, do you?
Yeah, you can get it from there.
Really?
Yeah,
is it super expensive? Because you talk about it being used by the Smithsonian, you know.
It's like $15 for a box.
Well, and it'll seal this, and it's not considered damaged by the CGI, CGC, or they call them, the CIA.
No, they consider that. They consider it a repair and not conservation.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, you got a little tear like that. I maybe I need to get some. What do you call it? Archival mending tissue.
Yeah, archival tape.
Yeah, we all need some of that then, and it's very easy to apply. It's just like tape.
Yeah, well, it's so thin though; it's hard to separate, from the backing that it's on.
Oh, fun.
But I've been doing it for so long, so it's easier for me. But at first, it's kind of a little bit difficult. But
Is it like a decal you're putting on a model kit or something?
no, you just got to separate it. You cut the length that you need, and then you kind of separate it from the backing, and that's the part that's hard to do.
On a tear like that, would you just put it on the inside of the cover?
Yeah. I don't put it on. I never put anything on the outside of the cover.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go to Breen, I just wanted to thank all in the audience. We've had a very good crowd. Make sure you go to all these fossils and like and subscribe them and check them out. And we look forward to Meyer's upcoming video. And don't forget on Saturdays to watch the Shannon and Dr. Silver Age channel. Here, the both of them are posing for us nicely. So, make sure you. And now we're going to go to Breen, and I'm sure he probably has a romance book for us.
I'm not sure.
Uh-oh.
Get that smile again.
This is I don't know why I grin like a Cheshire cat. Anyway, it's just another round of stuff from that couple Saturdays ago when I went up to Dayton. It's Josie 52.
Very cool.
Judge Colt. 4.
Well, that's one I ain't ever seen before.
Let's see. Here's Justice League 103.
Very nice. Was this a show you went to, Eric, or a shop?
No, I just went to a handful of shops.
Did you go to Bookery Fantasy?
We haven't gone there the last couple times because the guy sold the other half of the shop.
Okay.
He got real skittish during COVID. So I don't know what he has up there. And I've heard it's not as good as it used to be. But I've heard of a really good place that I can't remember the name of now. And found out that they had a lot of great stuff, but they were closing at 4, and we realized that at 3:30, and it was like a 20-minute drive, so I figured it wouldn't be worth it. But I hit that. We're gonna hit that next time we go up there. Korak number 9 and number 22.
Oh, I have that. That's a very cool cover. I love that cover.
And there's Magnus Robot Fighter number 8. Number 29. Number 30.
Look at that robot. Was that supposed to be a robot or something?
It looks like was it who was the DC character that had, was it Mark Merlin that had the robot secretary? Here's number 39. Here's Marvel Tales 17.
Excellent.
Cool.
Asking you shall receive.
Oh dear.
Don't oh dear me.
He says oh dear. Oh dear.
I feel like I'm going over the river and through the woods to grandma's.
Begonias.
Number 46. Complete with subscription fold. Here's Mighty Samson 24. And 25.
Wow.
It's a
Is
great
there a
kind
big
of
butt
cover.
on that cover? It looks like a big butt.
Somewhere.
Oh, if there is, I'm sure Hans has found it. There's Millie the Lovable Monster.
Oh man.
I love that comic.
Yeah.
That really is.
Look at that.
That's by the guy that did Katie Keene.
Right.
That's awesome.
And here's some more Millie for you of the model variety.
There's a guy on YouTube, Pop Comics loves Casey. Oh, that's cool.
And she got a mention earlier, so here's a My Little Margie.
Until you're in an M box.
Well, I alphabetize everything, and I alphabetize everything I got that day, and you're correct. Phantom Planet.
Oh,
That's
neat.
great. You know, I have a connection to Phantom Planet. I actually made an appearance on a local like creature features show probably about 10 years ago, and the episode that I was on was the Phantom Planet episode, and I went on there and just like showed some of my monster art, that King Kong painting I painted and that Louise Brooks painting, and they had a thing where local artists that were into monster movies showed up, but Phantom Planet was the movie that I was on.
Cool.
But do any of your copies have the Jerry Mort helmet signature?
No, that's a
Makes it a rare collector's item. I should have that, send it off to be slabbed.
that's pedigreed.
You just had to one up him, huh?
There's Popeye 147. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes,
That's
that's
a great cover.
it's an oddball, very
Hey,
oddball
that's
cover.
that guy that was like, it was like a wax figure of that guy here. There used to be a Ripley's Believe It or Not like museum that was at Pier 39 at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and they had a lot of this stuff that you saw over the years, like in the comics or on the TV shows, and they would have like wax figures of them on display in this full size like wax museum of Ripley. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Cookie.
And now I think I might have to go watch an episode from
Give me
it
your
was the
phone.
Weekend Binge about a month ago. That's it for this week, gentlemen.
Okay. I think the good captain wanted to show us one thing before we got out of here.
Well, yeah, this is I got this actually from Johnson Smith, a long time ago. I don't think it was manufactured. I don't know who manufactured this, but it's the Ghostbusters car.
Cool.
It's pretty. It's die-cast metal. I mean, it's huge.
That's neat.
You probably can't see it.
It's showing up good. That looks really cool.
The engine?
Oh no, I couldn't see the engine.
Damn it. That ain't gonna work. Forget it.
What's in there?
Anyway, it's a nice car. Look at the top of it. It's got a lot of detail.
Yeah, that's the Ecto 1. The Ecto 1. Right?
Yeah.
Does it say Ecto 1 on the license plate?
I don't think it is. Yeah, let's think it does have. Yes, it is Ecto 1. You're correct. Indeed.
That's nice. Cool.
Very
Cadillac
nice.
Cadillac ambulance, right?
Yeah. I think this opens up, but I can't. Oh, there it goes.
Imagine going on like ambulance runs in that car.
Yeah, this
Like-
is cool.
Like if you're
Like the wheels in the front, they turn a little bit. Yeah. And they
That's
got
neat.
the antennas here. I thought it was pretty nice. I think I paid. Must have been somewhere around $30 or just under $30, but it's a heavy car. I like it.
It's nice.
I can't wait to get an opportunity to just, a different house to display everything.
Right.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, guys, it was a great show, and we had a great response from the audience. So we thank you all. I don't necessarily need to close it. If you guys have any big announcements coming up, don't forget to check out their channels. And any big news?
I just want to let me mention Leo from Time Travel Comics. He has he was at the Pulp and paper convention. He's got a video out too, and it's got some different aspects of the convention if he wants to watch it. So Time Travel Comics on YouTube.
Already have, sir.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping to go on a road trip this weekend down to Fresno. It's the Porch Fest in Fresno, and I've got one of my good friends is going to be performing in Fresno, California. They do this thing called a Porch Fest, where this whole neighborhood in Fresno called the Tower District, about 40 or maybe 30 houses in this neighborhood, old houses. They open their porches to live music. So it's live, like a street festival with live concerts going on in everybody's front yard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go down there this weekend, and I'm gonna make a couple videos and film it.
Nice.
See that might be showing up on my channel on Sunday or Monday. So hopefully.
Cool.
Before we get out of here, Hans, I have a question for you. I saw where you popped into one of our readings the other night.
Yeah.
Did you need therapy afterwards?
No, I need therapy, but not from that.
Was it as odd as we had led you to believe?
It was kind of fun. It was a fun thing, but it was something unusual.
Yeah.
I've come across dramatic readings of early Spider-Mans, and I can't even last a minute. I go, where's the fun in that?
I'd like to try that sometime, and use some of the different voices I do.
We'd love it. So that's.
You probably have to read a Harvey comic, maybe though.
Well, we proved it doesn't matter if the voice we do matches the character.
That's the charm of it, right?
The guy that does the Stan Lee voice for you guys,
Trusty
you need to write
sidekick.
some dialogue for him, just insane dialogue, and have him read it, because he sounds just like Stan Lee, and you could make some great openings for different shows with Stan Lee just going insane, cursing, whatever the heck.
He would do it. I'm sure he would do it, and he's also he's got a couple of comic art credits, because I think he can't remember the companies he worked for, but I remember Paul Pelletier, I think, got him his first drawing gig. But he's I said he does the best James Mason I've ever heard. I mean, his James Mason is better than his Stan Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's frightening how good that one is.
I've never heard anyone else talk like Stan Lee. It's just like, that's a very distinctive voice. I don't know if it's regional to a certain part of New York, but
yeah, he's very good at that.
For those of you wondering who we're talking about this guy right here, Trusty Sidekick. So you can many times catch him Wednesday or Friday nights on the Geeky Puppet
in
Show.
the chat. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see, man. He loves his bananas, man.
Well, we thank you, Michael Taylor, and Dr. Silverage managed to stay awake through the whole thing. That was great. We did not put him to sleep, and then Werewolf is now joining us from Australia.
Oh, Werewolf by lunchtime.
And looks like we're just about ready to go. Bronco Bear from Israel, good to see you too. And on that note, we will slowly make our way out. That's right, Maranya. Take care, all the fossils and all our friends of the fossils.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yep, thanks for being here for everyone.
All right. So on that, we'll see you next time. Good night, kids, as Eric would say.
Then I don't have to.